Hey, what's up? It's Joey from Louisiana. I'm back to talk about my new Kydex sheath from Armor Sheaths. I'm pretty excited about this sheath. I've got a lot of comparisons here on the table, as you can see, but this is a K-Bar BK7. You know, there's tons of reviews on it. I haven't done any kind of modification or anything like that on it. I'm mainly just going to talk about the sheath. It's basically, first off, I got it from ESEE, Armor Sheaths on eBay, or you can Google it and find it. Basically right here. And I don't know if that's picking up or not, but that's how it comes. It just comes bubble wrapped envelope. He ships it, you get it in 2 days, 2 business days, which is pretty cool. This sheath, in its design, it is a drop down dangler type sheath with the fire steel. It's his own design. This model here will run you $85, but he'll do it in any color you want without charging you extra for those colors. And he's very easy to talk to, very communicative. And so it was a pleasure dealing with him, and I'm gonna keep getting sheaths made from him. I've seen like one video on his channel. I forgot what his channel's called, but if you just type in Armor Sheaths on YouTube, he does one video. And then there's this other guy talking about how he buys all his sheaths from him too. And I was kind of skeptical at first until I got to talking to him, and I was like, hell, this guy, he answers every question I have. He explains his sheaths. He explains this is 0.093 inch Kydex, so it's the thickest Kydex. I think that's the thickest one made. You know, you got your .060, your .080, and your .093. He explained why it was better. He also, in the sheath, he also brings it down to where it's not going to cut. Your blade's not going to rub your edge. It's not going to rub against the Kydex and dull it. A lot of people will say that's just a fact. If it's tight, too tight, it's going to do that. The way he sandwiches it, it fits perfect and snug. It's not coming out. It'd be hilarious if this fucker fell out, wouldn't it? Anyway, all right, excuse me for that. He just sent this. I mean, I've got plenty of paracord just to tie it to your leg. I'll show you later in the video what it looks like on me. This is fire right here. This is just a fire steel from firesteel.com, and it's actually pretty awesome. I ordered several of them. Got this idea from Adam from Equip to Endure. It's a pretty good channel. Check it out if you hadn't already. I don't agree with everything he says. I just, you know, he's a pretty avid outdoorsman. But anyway, all I did with this fire steel to make it more compact with this sheath was basically, I tied a knot on each side of the ferro rod, and the fire striker, they drill the hole. You can get them with the hole drilled, and I would recommend that unless you're doing it underwater or something, which is going to be really hard with a drill. For me anyway, because I'm not, you know, anyway, we'll skip all that mess. But all I have to do is slip this off all the way. This is something that comes with the ESEE knives. It's just, you know, you don't want to tie the knot, and then you have that. Y'all slip this all the way off, and I can take this all the way off and scrape the rod. And it fits down. Here's the sheath, the back of it. Here's the front. It fits so damn snug. I mean, I'm pushing. And then you can see, I mean, Jesse does a great job. It's not going anywhere. To pull it, I mean, you've got to yank it to get the thing out. So I think that's pretty awesome. I like that. It's actually a tighter fit than your Tops Bob comes with this, but I mean, it just slips in and out pretty easy. You know, it's not quite as tight. I mean, it's going to hold it and everything, but anyhow, it's really not a comparison. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. Anyhow, all right, so you have your dangler right here. And I mean, he does an awesome job. I mean, he uses all American-made rivets, screws, all that kind of stuff. He'll explain it to you. And you can also see it on his eBay. You got a little flex here, you know, for when it's on you. When you're walking and everything, it's never going to hang up. It's going to move with you, and it really does. It's made a lot like bushcraft leather sheath that you buy one of those $200 sheaths, except it's Kydex, man. I like Kydex a lot better than leather. Leather looks awesome, but Kydex is going to hold up better, I think. And this 0.093 inch thickness of the sheath here, it's not going to warp or shrink, or, you know, it's not going to be as it's gonna be more impervious to the elements than, you know, your thinner sheaths like the ones that come with charade knives. These are really thin. This is .060, and you can see how it bends in. You can't do this with this one. And I guess I can show you that too. Maybe you can. It's new to me, so, but it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure holding. No, you can a little bit. I guess all Kydex, you're gonna get that a little bit. That's okay. But anyhow, so the next thing I want to talk about, we're gonna go into measurements real quick. And I really haven't measured this yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and measure it for y'all. Let's get it. Now this right here is just my own handiwork. All y'all that watch my knife reviews know that I like making my paracord like this. And this is the 11 strand paracord you can find on Amazon. This stuff is really hard to cut, and it takes a minute to burn the edges. So it's the real deal, and I'm gonna stick with that. It's not part of the review on the sheath, but it's part of everything I'm talking about, so just bear with me. Anyhow, the knife and the sheath combined, I mean, you see how easy you push off that lip. It's coming out, but I mean, it clicks with a click that ain't nobody's business. So anyway, all right, so we're gonna measure from the very tip here. Let's get this right for the camera. All right. Here's your skull buster, or whatever you want to call it. The full tank sticking out the back. We got exactly, what's that, 13 inches? Right about 13 inches from, and this is a knife pushed all the way in. All right, so you got 13 inches from the back of the handle to the tip. And right here, let's get this fire still out. That really is a tight, snug fit. I really enjoy that. That's awesome. All right, so you got like 3 1/8 inch at the widest. If not counting up here by the lip, but it's you get the gist of what I'm saying. Down here at the bottom is just under. This looks like 2 7/8 inch, and then down at the very end, if anybody's interested, let's see if I can get it. You're looking at about 2 inches, maybe a little less. I should have a ruler for this; it'd be a little better, but I don't have calipers or whatever you want to call it to measure how thick this is. But I mean, just to see next to a finger, it's pretty thin. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, he keeps it thin as it doesn't look too bulky. You know, I enjoy it. It's all right. Without the knife, it is going to be to the lip about 9 1/8 inches overall. Your fire steel loop is, which I don't care if my fire steel's sticking out of it or not. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 eighths, 2 3/8 inches. So that's plenty. I mean, most fire steels aren't really long anyway. So let's get this knife out and weigh it real quick. Get it like this. All right, I'm gonna stick the dangler up under here and keep the paracord off. You're looking at 7.4 ounces. That's not too bad. I mean, if you want to compare it to something comparable, I guess the only really good Kydex I have on the table besides the ESEE Kydex, but I don't have a big Kydex here with me. Take out the fire steel. Well, you can also tell this is a lot lighter, but it's a lot smaller. So, I mean, it's not really Kydex. I mean, I'm not real sure how thick this is. Let's compare them. But I can say that this sheath, I've put the knife in and taken it out more times than I've done this one because I have 2 toss bobs. This is the one I don't touch. And that one's still snugger, or more snug, I'm sorry. So anyhow, that's a comparison between your toss bob, which is your desert tan one. This is the one I don't mess with a lot at all, actually. You know, some knives you just like enough to have an extra one from mint condition. So anyway,
weigh that big one.
This is your K-bar, just a regular. It's actually glass filled nylon. I think that's what they call it. That's kind of hard. Let me fold this under. I've got paracord on here, so you might take off a couple, a few tenths of an ounce. 3.95. So his sheaths are, they're a little heavier, than some of the others. But now I don't have another sheath exactly for that knife that's made by another Kydex guy to compare it to. But I don't really care about weight as much as I care about functionality of it and how well is it going to stand up for me. And I'd rather, as a cold steel fan, I'd rather the triad lock than a knife like a Buck Bantam that's going to do this to your hand when the lock fails. Okay, same thing I'm talking about with the sheath. Knife with the sheath. Let's see. All right. You're going to have 1 pound, 5.9 ounces. That's with the fire steel. Let me take the fire steel out. Keep forgetting about that. Sorry about that, y'all. 1 pound, 4.35 ounces. All right, you think about the ESEE 5 or anything, maybe 1 pound, 4.4. Somewhere in between 4.35 and 4.4. You think about the ESEE 16 ounces without the sheath. So it's probably about like the ESEE 5 with the sheath. Be back with y'all in a second. All right, y'all. Got my buddy's ESEE 5 just real quick for comparison. There you go, 1 pound, 4.05 ounces. So, I mean, you saw the other ones 1 pound, 4.35 or 1 pound, 4.4 in between those. So you're looking at about the same weight for both. And I forgot to weigh the knife to show you by itself. That's 13 ounces of knife. So when you get your 1 pound, 4 ounces, which is basically 20 ounces, I mean, there's a sheath by itself, 8.55, 8.6, hold on a minute. There we go, 8.95. Well, I keep forgetting, that's the fire steel in there, but y'all get the point, y'all get the gist. Anyway, I'd much rather lose some of these other sheaths than one like this. This is the closest sheath to the ESEE 5 sheath and ESEE sheaths. I love the ESEE sheaths. I think that's a big selling point for ESEE because they only use 1095 high carbon steel. K-bar even adds chromium and I think vanadium for the crow van behind the 1095. And it makes it a little more, I think, rust resistant, maybe just slightly. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Thanks. But anyway, these right here are my favorites, and just to give you comparisons, this is Kydex for Schrade. This is the Schrade F16, I think, neck knife. And I love the knife and everything, and the sheath is actually pretty nice for this one, but it doesn't compare to ARMORsheaths. And look, I'm not employed by this guy. I'm just that impressed with his sheath, so I'm just really wanting to do this video on that. And I'm going to get my next one in the OD green for the Ontario Blackbird SK5, just like this one, because I like the way that rides better than the Tech Lock. It's kind of annoying. I mean, I like it better than other systems, but I never knew how much better this system is until I put it on. And if you haven't experienced it, it's pretty cool. Anyway, and then I showed you the Schrade sheath. This is a SOG. Talked about it in my other video. I just couldn't remember the name of it. It's a Steel Pup Elite. This sheath, I don't know if it's pure Kydex or not, but it doesn't seem like it fits good and everything. It rattles. You got a little rattle in it. It's not bad. I still like it overall. And then your Tops Bob is going to be your second runner-up as far as quality, the feel of it. When you get your hands on them and you're actually putting the knife in and out of it. See, this doesn't have a lip on it. There's no lip to push off. See, there, it flies off. And yeah, it's still tight because this knife is brand new. Okay. The lip on this one, let's see if I can show y'all. And I have Wilson wrap on the handle just because I didn't feel like stippling it yet. I was going to stipple it like you do the gun handles with one of those. Let's see. That's all that is Wilson wrap. I'm going to beat the hell out of that knife because it's inexpensive. Let's see if that picks up down in there. And you can see how it's made. Comes back together here where it won't cut your blade. gives it a little room for error there. And right here, I didn't tighten any of this. He uses, he doubles up on the, whatever you call those. I'm trying to think. I'm not really a Kydex. Just washers, I guess, yeah. You can tighten that down if you want to. I haven't really had a chance. I hadn't had a reason to tighten it down. Everything's so compact with it. It doesn't look compact because I have this hanging off of it and this hanging off of it. But once you take these two things off, and you don't have to have the fire steel loop. I mean, he can do anything you want on these things. He can add what you want. And he's very, very friendly. And he will tell you it takes him 3 to 5 days to make these sheaths because he takes his time. And he gets a lot of business. So, you know, you can look at his eBay page. It might show like 500 reviews and 100% positive. Well, not everybody sends, you know, I'm an eBay seller too. So just to say, he does get backed up, but he will get your knife out in order of, you know, who orders first. But it took me about a week to get this one. And, it took him 3 to 5 days, and then it was 2 day shipping. He let me know. He sent me an email and said, Joey, this is on the way, and it'll be there 2 business days, and it was here. So that's pretty cool. Tell me when.
It's going.
Okay. This is it on your hip. So you can slide it over. That's kind of where I like to carry mine. And like I said, it moves around freely. You can lash it to your leg, yada yada. But basically, you know, when you're sitting down and stuff, I like to squat down. Like if I'm hunting or something, I'll squat down. If I don't have all this extra BS on it, then, you know, it's not going to be, you know, without this. Let's see. Just a little bit. Not really. It's pretty darn quiet. I mean, it moves with your leg, which I like. And then taking it out, easy. Drop it in, bam, and that's all it is to it. So I'm impressed with it, man. It's y'all. Sorry about that. Overall, I'd say on a rating scale, I'm not trying to be anybody else on YouTube, but I am going to rate on a scale from 1 to 10. I'd say 10. There's nothing I can say that's negative about the sheath, and I can't tell you how impressed I am. I mean, I'm about as excited about this as I would be if I was getting a Survive knife. And y'all all know the knife community, how hard those are to come by. So anyway, thanks for watching, and God bless. Peace.